Good evening, I'm Ryan Bonazzo. Thank you for joining us. Thunder Bay residents will have to get used to providing proof of vaccination. Ontario's vaccine certificate program took effect this morning. The new rules impact customers at non-essential businesses and events. Mitchell Ringos reports.
With the Ontario Vaccine Passport program now underway, all citizens attending certain places will have to show government-issued identification, along with the digital or paper vaccine receipt for both doses. The locations include restaurants and bars, concerts and sporting events, movie theaters, casinos, and gyms. Proof of vaccination will not be required if using the washroom, making a retail purchase, placing or picking up an order, or purchasing admission. With all these new changes, we spoke to Push Fitness owner Jen Bisignano, who says she agrees with the program, but has already had people coming in to cancel their gym memberships as they don't agree with the policy.
As a business owner, this has been frustrated, but as a human being, personally, I can't say that I disagree with the mandate. If I were a member at a gym or if I were eating in a restaurant, I would feel better knowing that people are like-minded and are putting everyone's health first.
Even though the public has been told not to take their frustrations about the vaccination program out on the businesses, Superior Shores Gaming Association General Manager Joe Brizard says he has had people come in and say they won't be coming back.
I think this is probably going to be the worst part of it. Once I think the staff get used to it and the customers will have all their stuff ready as they come in the door, I think it's just a little blip in the radar, but I think it's going to be a positive, I believe.
And restaurants and bars are also facing challenges. Italian Hall General Manager Saeed Kabir says there might be hurdles in the way for businesses with patios to get the customers to come inside. As with winter fast approaching, he doesn't know if they will cooperate or just leave entirely. Kabir says even though businesses might lose some customers, starting the program right now will take safety to the next level for the customers and staff.
If we don't start it, we'll never get ready. So we have to start some point, right? And I think it's a good thing from the government, because if the customer, they can come in, and I think it will kind of giving them the signal that, okay, you'll have just about time to get your vaccination right now, right?
And with unvaccinated Canadians looking to now get vaccinated, you will have to wait at least 14 days from the second dose to be able to visit businesses under the Ontario Vaccine Passport program. Mitchell Ringos, TBT News.
After staying essentially silent during the federal election campaign, Premier Doug Ford was back in the public eye at a news conference this morning, just hours after the vaccine certificate system came into effect. He insists this isn't a step that he wanted to take, but he feels it's essential to help avoid another lockdown. Ford says he understands the frustration over the certificate, but he's confident that Ontarians will follow the rules.
I know that many people are concerned about the certificate and what it means for your civil liberties. I know that this is a divisive issue, and that's understandable. I want you to know that I hear you. Our government understands your concerns. And it's no secret that I was reluctant to use this tool. But our highest concern, what keeps me up at night, is ensuring we never lose our hard-fought progress.
The Northwestern Health Unit is reporting one new COVID-19 case today in the Kenora region, but the total number of active cases in the NWHU has fallen to 8. Across the province, Ontario is reporting just 463 cases, the lowest single-day count since August 17th. 332 of today's cases are in people who aren't fully vaccinated or have an unknown vaccination status. There are 299 people hospitalized with the virus. Just 28 of those patients are known to be fully vaccinated. A Toronto area man originally charged with second-degree murder in connection with a 2017 Thunder Bay homicide has pleaded guilty to 2 lesser charges. 21-year-old Edmund Clovis was killed in May of 2017. He was stabbed numerous times and left for dead on a sidewalk on South Marks Street. Today, 33-year-old Michael Cleghorn appeared by video in a Thunder Bay courtroom and pleaded guilty to 1 count of breaking and entering and 1 count of assault. He was the subject of a Canada-wide warrant until his arrest for Clovis's murder in 2019. The court heard Cleghorn was one of 3 suspects involved in the fatal altercation and that he admitted to striking the victim but not killing him. The other 2 suspects have never been identified or arrested. The Crown will be withdrawing the charge of second-degree murder upon completion of sentencing on the new charges. 2 people have been charged with drug trafficking and other offenses after Thunder Bay Police executed a search warrant at a home on the 100 block of Secord Street yesterday evening. It's the 3rd drug raid at that residence over the last year. Officers seized suspected crack cocaine, cash, and drug paraphernalia. A 25-year-old Toronto man and a 59-year-old Thunder Bay woman have been taken into custody. Planning for the 2022 Scotties Tournament of Hearts moved into high gear today. Curling Canada's events managers visited Thunder Bay for the first time to meet with the local organizing committee and discuss plans for the big event. And as Danielle Bain tells us, they're planning for a full capacity crowd at the Fort William Gardens.
With the Scotties Curling Championship happening in Thunder Bay 1 year later than originally planned, Vice Chair of the Scotties Local Organizing Committee, Diane Imrie, says the buzz around the city is still there, and it's noticeable.
Obviously, it was postponed from a previous year. When they were contacted, folks that had bought tickets, do you still want to keep your tickets? You bet. Very few wanted to hand them in, so we're really excited about it. And once the ice is in, for people to be hitting the ice locally back curling, I believe starting, I know here at Fort William after Thanksgiving, it's really going to take off because we'll be back in the curling mode.
The 2021 tournament took place in a bubble in Calgary last year with no fans due to the COVID-19 pandemic. But for 2022, Curling Canada event manager Marcy Harekesi expects the Thunder Bay event to be at full capacity for spectators.
I was in the curling bubble last year, seeing the curling, and without the fans, it was really a lacking component to the sport and to the tournaments that we're hosting. So it will be great to have everyone back together.
In anticipation for the big event, Fort William Gardens is undergoing over $1 million in upgrades funded by NOHFC, FedNor, and the City of Thunder Bay.
It's amazing what a coat of fresh paint will do. And there's a new digital scoreboard going up. There's going to be a digital marquee put out in the front. For those driving by the gardens, it's being repainted. The rock is being refurbished. So it's exciting. And it's all going to just add to the excitement of this great event.
It was Harekesi's first visit to the venue, and after seeing where the tournament is set to take place, she was extremely satisfied.
It has everything that we need to pull off a successful event. It's got a lot of charm and a lot of charisma. It's going to be sort of a classic feel, but it's going to be great, and it's going to have a really wonderful atmosphere.
As planning and upgrades continue, the 2022 Scotties Tournament of Hearts is set to begin on January 28th. Danielle Bain, TVT News.
Drivers should once again be able to travel unimpeded along Edwards Street by the end of October. That's when construction crews are expected to be finished their work on the new 4-lane bridge between Parkway and Riverview Drive. The 16 beams are now delivered and in place for the bridge's deck top. The $6.5 million project began in May, and commuters are no doubt anxious for the job to be done. City project engineer Mike Vogrig feels the same. He says many of the finishing touches can soon begin.
They're putting all utility conduits in sidewalks, so they have cast-in-place sidewalks they have to pour. They have to waterproof the top of the deck. So there's not a concrete deck board on this particular bridge. The beams itself kind of make up the deck. So they'll have to waterproof that, then pave it, do work at the approaches.
The 2 multi-use trails under the bridge have already been paved. Vogrig says they'll be ready for the public as soon as the bridge top is cleared. Meanwhile, the new roundabout at Edward and Redwood Streets is nearly done as well. City engineers plan to officially open it on Saturday, and they're offering drivers a chance to try it out on Friday afternoon from 1 to 3.
We're actually putting on one more education event on Friday to allow the public to come and talk to staff ask questions. They'll watch the video that shows them how to drive through the roundabout and then get the opportunity to drive through the roundabout. So hoping that people that don't have a lot of confidence right now can come and attend that. And also we'll have the opportunity for people to just drive through the roundabout without coming and watching the video, but they will be restricted with the amount of traffic through there. We'll be trying to get people going through it one at a time.
The city is testing out a more environmentally friendly way to pave its roadways. A small patch of road at the city landfill on Maple Ward Road has been covered using a mix of asphalt and lignin, a byproduct derived from wood pulp. Corey Nordstrom explains.
A green solution is being tested on a stretch of new pavement at Thunder Bay's landfill, as paving contractors working for the city have swapped out a small amount of carcinogenic bitumen with a wood pulp byproduct.
We were able to replace 5% of the mix of the asphalt with the lignin. So obviously we're hoping that that technology continues to improve and we can replace more and more of the bitumen with the lignin.
Known as nature's wood glue, the lignin is produced locally by FP Innovation, a forestry research and development company that has partnerships with Resolute Forest Products. This is the first time the lignin-based asphalt is being used in Ontario, though it was used this summer in a trial in Sturgeon County, Alberta.
It was a successful trial. The pavement mat looked good, and test results at the time had come in favorably. So the mixed design has been tested repeatedly. So we do have a good confidence that this will work.
100 tons of asphalt mixed with lignin formed part of the road, with the same amount of traditional asphalt on the rest. Dixon says it will allow them to compare the two going forward, but the city doesn't plan on mixing lignin into further paving projects, or at least not in the foreseeable future.
Over the next couple of years, we'll see performance, and really based on that and the continued long-term performance, if you think of it, asphalt, a new asphalt should last us 15, 20, 25 years depending on the traffic on it. So it's a long-term pilot.
Corey Nordstrom, TBT News.
A pair of robberies at Southside convenience stores have Thunder Bay police asking for public help to identify the suspect or suspects, as it's unclear if the crimes were committed by the same person. The most recent incident happened at the Circle K on East Arthur Street just after midnight on September 11th. Surveillance video shows that an armed male entered the store, approached the clerk, and took an undisclosed amount of cash before fleeing on foot. The robber is described as an Indigenous male standing about 5'5" with a slim build. That also matched the description of the suspect in another robbery involving a male with a knife at a Circle K on May Street on September 6th. Anyone with information on the person or persons in these images is asked to contact city police. There's another instance of blue-green algae in the area, this time at Trout Lake in Gorham Township. Water should be avoided until about 2 weeks after the blue-green algae bloom has dissipated. It should not be drunk, swam in, or used for household purposes. More information can be found on the province's Ministry of the Environment, Conservation and Parks website. McDonald's stores from coast to coast, including those here in Thunder Bay, are celebrating the 27th McHappy Day, which helps fund the Ronald McDonald House and local children charities. For the first time, 10% of the proceeds today from every food and drink sold will support the Ronald McDonald House charities across Canada. The charity event was unable to run last year due to COVID. Local managers at the Arthur Street McDonald's say they're glad to have it back this time around.
There's a lot of people out there, a lot of children that need help, families, so I know I have 7 grandchildren, so I know children need a lot of help.
It's one of those charities that you hope you never have to use, but you're happy it's there for when you do. Personally, for us here at McDonald's, we've had a few people that have had to use the house, and it's they spent months there, and it's without the house, it would have been very difficult times for them. So I donate them to them every year, and it's fabulous. Yeah.
For anyone who can't make it out for McHappy Day, donations can still be made all year long by adding the Roundup for RMCA to your order.
So on my drive home today, I'm definitely going to pick up at least 3 meals, I would have to guess, and maybe Fiona, just because